Hey, you guys, it is time. So, might have an interesting show tonight. This is the Celtic Rain Radio Show. I am extremely happy to be here with you guys. But we are going to be doing things a little different today because for some freaky reason, my band didn't show up. So, Ancient Sins will have to get back to you some other time. Maybe they'll pop in when they realize, oh crap, we're supposed to be there. We shall see. But instead, every once in a while, when I have a band not show up, I do a question and answer series. So tonight, you guys get to interview me. So think of your questions, and I have a variety. I'm a musician and a minister and a mom and a teacher, and so there's lots of different questions you could ask me about all sorts of things. Needless to say, since my band did not show up tonight, that's what we will be doing in the interview portions of the show. So get your questions ready. Get your questions ready, right? Exactly. So needless to say, we're going to have an amazing show tonight. This is the Celtic Rain Radio Show. If you have music that you want played on the show, all that's required is this. You have to be a small label or independent artist, and your music needs to be family friendly, meaning no cursing, let's not make fun of people, be nice. Don't be mean. It's just the way it is. That way we can show it, and the syndications that I have will be able to show the show and not have to worry about all the craziness. I do play all genres of music, so it's going to be really, really fun tonight. Even though Ancient Sins is not here, I'm still going to be playing their music as if they were, because I already have the things set up for that. So there you are. Needless to say, you do get to interview me tonight, which is going to be a lot of fun. Since Ancient Sins is not here, you get to ask questions of me. So get your questions ready for me, and then I'll answer them to the best of my ability. So go ahead and start, thinking of them and putting them in. That way I've got some questions to start answering. Also, if you're not watching from the YouTube channel, you can watch from the YouTube channel at youtube.com/C for channel /Celtic Rain. And so go and subscribe and like and do all the stuff to make sure that you know exactly when I'm going to be here and you can be a part of the show. So tonight, especially a part of the show, because you get to ask me questions. I know, it's kind of crazy that way. You get to interview me. So we do have 3 songs. Before that happens, though, we have Where the Hills Are Hollow by Brian Henke. And then we have How Great Thou Art by David East. And then we have Oh Danny Boy by Celtic Rain. Celtic Rain is as my group, as you know. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And I cannot wait for you to hear this beautiful music before you guys get to interview me. That's right. That's right. So get your questions ready. You guys ready? All right, here we go.
Afraid to follow the drum where hills are hollow. Moonlight, firelight, dancing among the shadows. Follow to where the hills are hollow, where stars are bright and light of the moon fills your eyes. Clad in a new sky, peacock and lowly sparrow, song somewhere hills are hollow. Song that they sing invites you to dream, take you to where the hills are hollow. Sweet song of the night, stars here are brighter, where light of the moon fills your eyes. Stand at the door of a new world, follow your heart with mushrooms and flowers. Song is sung, the hills are hollow. There's no confusion, time's an illusion. A bell has rung, the hills are hollow. Sweet song of the night, the stars here are brighter, where light of the moon fills your eyes. Stand at the door of a new world. Follow your heart and go through.
summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis all be then sunshine or shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes, the harps are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis all be then sunshine or shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when you come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead and dead I well may be, you'll come and find a place where I am lying, and kneel and say, and nothing there for me. I shall hear the soft you Well, you guys, a miracle happened, but I'm still going to answer your questions because you have put some effort into these questions. It's amazing. Miracle happened. Timing, because you guys, I interview people from all over the world, and so timing wise, Mr. West from Ancient Sins got a little bit mixed up, but he is here, so I'm so excited. I'm going to stick him on with us, and I'm going to answer your questions, and I'm going to ask him your questions too, because I think that would be a really, really cool way to do this. And especially since I have actually interviewed him before, and he's a pretty amazing guy, and I really, really want to get to know him even more. So, hello, Mr. Wes. Oops, how are
Howdy.
you?
I'm doing. How
Yeah,
are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad you got to us. Makes me happy.
Yeah. I was like, it's 8:30 tonight. 8:30 tonight. Wait a, and then I just happened to have opened Facebook, and I'm like, she's live. Okay, but oh crap! Gotta
Right,
go.
Pacific
Yeah. I was
time.
like, oh
Pacific,
yeah.
Pacific, not specific. Pacific, but it is a specific Pacific time. Yes, yes. But you were moving the last time we talked to you, right? So you had moved.
Um.
You moved somewhere.
Golly, we talked.
It was a while ago.
It was last year. I want to say it was in May. It was about a year ago. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So, and you were about to move somewhere, is that correct? You were
yeah,
about
yeah.
to
I was
Yeah.
getting ready to leave Japan and coming back to
Yeah.
the States. Yeah, yeah.
And where did you end up finally settling?
Central California is where I'm
Yes.
at now.
So it's a little bit earlier there for you right now. Like
Yeah,
3
yeah.
hours. Yeah. So there you go. It's not bad. I know for some of the people that I've interviewed that are overseas, they tend to, as you know from last time, it's the middle of the night for them. So it's a little different. Yes, yes. But for you, now it's kind of nice. You're like, hey, this is a lot earlier. This is quite nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we do have some questions because I was like, well, if I'll just let them interview me. I always have a plan, Stan. Always have a plan. So needless to say, Natalie did ask a question of me. Natalie said, you mentioned that you're a teacher. Can you tell us more about that? So yes, I do teach. I teach voice over at the School of Rock in Carmel, Indiana. So it's a really interesting program where if you take lessons there, then you also join a band. They have like bands that you can join, and so they teach you not only how I teach you how to sing, and then they teach you how to perform, which is quite nice, and how to like work with a group. Which, by the way, is the hardest thing as a musician, is learning how to work with other people. So that is never a bad thing, ever, ever. Yeah. And so that's where I teach. I would say ministry is also teaching. So there you go. I also teach my son. He's homeschooled. So most of the time, though, because he's older now, it's more just me making sure he's doing his work and he's not on some electronic, and I have to be like, what are you doing? You should be doing work right now. What is wrong with you? Yeah. Most of what I do with him is just not kill him. So, that's, I think our whole thing is, as parents, if they make it to adulthood, we have done our job. Like, we are
Right.
successful. That's what I've decided. Yeah. If they're alive by the time they're grown-ups, hey, I did a good job. They're alive. The rest is their therapist's problem. So there you go. Well, that was a good question.
Yeah.
And then we have several others. Actually, it's pretty cool.
Mm.
How many hours do you spend per week practicing working on music, roughly? I'd say for myself, per week. Ooh, geez. Well, because I'm a musician and a teacher, I work on a lot of different kinds of music. So probably I spend per day probably 3 to 5 hours. So 5 times, 7. That's 45 hours of music that I'm working on roughly a week. I say that's about right. What about you?
It depends on the work schedule of the week. If it's a 5-day work week or a 3-day work week. 5 day
Nice.
work weeks, maybe about 6 hours, 8 hours. Depends on how much I'm playing that day, or what the actual day looks like with everything else going on. The short weeks though, I'm probably playing guitar for about 4 to 5 hours a day, and
Yeah.
probably singing anywhere between an hour to 2 hours. So that's what I'd say max, four, five, six times
Right.
five. Yeah, so that's about 30 right there. Yeah.
So what are you doing now for work?
No, I'm still military.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. No, I'm stationed out here in the middle of Cali. But yeah, no, I'm
Nice.
still military police. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, so yeah, no, it is kind of one of those things. I know for me, before a show,
Oh yeah.
we have practices on Sundays or whatever,
Mhm.
and we'll go through. But a lot of times, you've done this. I've done this music so many times. I don't know if you're the same way. It's like, okay, well, it's one song. We go through our practices. Well, we know that song really, really well. Do we
Mhm.
really need to go through this again for the thousandth time? Not really, but these other songs that we've just written, we're working on an album right now, so it's kind of like, okay, do we really need to practice these, so that we get these parts down, so when we get in the studio it just goes like this, so that we don't waste time and money. So I don't know about you, but that's kind of how our practice. And then most of the time though, if I'm sitting down like just during the week, it's because I'm like, "Oh, something just came to my head and I gotta get it down," or there's a part I just really wanna figure out, or I wrote this song and, you know, it has a part in it instrument-wise that I've never played this instrument because 'cause I've decided I'm gonna learn this now, and, because musicians do that, and you
Mhm.
go from there, "I like this
Yeah.
instrument, we should buy it."
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like for me, I'll sit down and I'll play the same thing probably 100 times throughout the day, every day that I play, and like if it's my own guitar solos on my stuff that I'm playing, I'll probably play the same guitar solo 8, 9, 10, 11 times. And in each time that I play each day, that I'm actually like not just putting in a half hour or an hour just to sustain. I'll play the same thing over and over and over again, only because that way I don't lose that on top of working on all the new material that's
Oh, of course. Yeah,
that's there
exactly.
as well. Um,
Yeah.
so that way, yeah, it doesn't lash one technique to, for that new technique that you're trying to develop. You can still,
Yeah.
it's still all there and able to be maintained.
Yeah. A lot of times too, I've seen somebody that's done something different, and I'm like, I wonder if I can do that. And
Yeah.
I'll sit down and I'll be like, that was really bad. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. And so then you just keep going until you figure out your way of doing it, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I could do
Nope.
this. I could do this. It's not too bad now. From that was from Julius. Julius has got another one. There's several from Julius. Which instrument do you play? Drums, vocals, and blah blah blah. That obviously was pointed towards me because there you go. But obviously, vocals is an instrument. People forget that voice is an instrument. Hello, and you have to hone it and you have to make it beautiful. But I do also Celtic drum and tom drum and sing at the same time, so I look like a one man band. It's really kind of funny to watch. And but then I also play guitar and I play bass and I'm learning the Native American flute. I have an auto harp that is badly tuned and needs fixing, and I would love to learn. It's sad, people. It's sad. The pads are hilarious. But Samuel, it was kind of funny. I don't know if you have this happen, but like people are like, "Oh my gosh, I found these instruments at like a yard sale," or "I found this. I've had this forever, and I want it to go to a good home." And so yesterday he went and literally drove an hour to go get two instruments that are like antique instruments and brought them home. One needs a little bit of work. The other one is ridiculous beautiful. It's literally centuries old, and it probably costs more than us combined. This thing is, it's definitely more than I cost. And and I'm just like, dude, we're gonna have to insure that thing because it's ridiculous pretty. But it's this like lute, but it has like all these other strings that are like, it's like a, I don't know, it's called a lute guitar. It's absolutely beautiful. But we keep getting instruments, and our house just kind of looks like a warehouse. It's hilarious. Cracks me up. So that I do try to play a lot of different things just because it's a lot of fun. But those are the ones
Yeah.
I. So what do you play?
Nowadays it's only vocals and guitar, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Vocals is it's an instrument you need to take care of. It's probably,
Yes,
I would say, one of the most important, because if you lose your voice, that doesn't just affect you as a musician, that affects you your entire life.
exactly.
Um, and that's why, like, I don't know how some people do it. They practice and practice and just do scales and harmonies and all kinds of things for just hours on end. And for me, I'm ready to go after like 30 minutes, like 30, 45 minutes tops. And that's my breaking point right there for just warming up, to let my voice soothe out in order to be ready for a gig.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've done the hour and a half just blaring and pushing from the lower parts of the diaphragm and inhaling in the chest all at the same time, and this, that, and the other. And I don't know, probably two, three songs into a show, my voice is already down, just like bottoming out. It was completely atrocious.
As a vocal teacher, I have so many comments. We will have to talk later. I'm like, let me help you. Because we actually had a student call in, and she's young, she's 16, and call in and was like, her mom called in and said, yeah, she can't come back. She's got nodes on her vocal cords. I'm just like, because she was pushing
Yikes.
here instead of pushing from here.
Hmm.
And if you guys are singers, you know that's never a good thing. Never push your chest voice into your head voice. And
Hmm.
men have like three different registers. They have chest, they have head, and they have falsetto. And then if you're a screamer, meaning, then in your music, then you have to learn how to scream correctly so that you don't hurt
Hmm.
yourself.
Yep.
Or you lose your voice because you're literally hurting your
Mm.
body. And
Yeah.
people just don't realize it. They just
Yeah.
don't.
You remember the band Disturbed, right?
Yes.
So David Draymond had two or three surgeries on his vocal cords because it got to the point where one of them just ruptured and was just
Oh,
on its own pulsating out the acid from the vocal
oh,
cord, like from his throat into onto his actual vocal cords. It was
oh
about
God, that just makes me
five or
hurt
six years
inside.
ago. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
But
Ow.
I use this stuff right here. I don't know if you can see it. Vocal
Vocal
ease.
ease.
This stuff
Oh, there you go.
is, it's a honey. It soothes, hydrates, and protects. It's a mixture of all kinds of natural herbs, honey,
Oh, there you go.
echinacea, and ginger and whatnot.
Echinacea. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
there you go. Yeah, this stuff is like, it's 14
Echinacea.
bucks it's 14 bucks a tube, and it's
Yeah.
saved my voice. I don't know how many times so
Well, and
far.
I'll tell you, there have been times that I have been really sick and had to go sing. And
Hmm.
because we're getting paid, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't not do this. And I have literally not been able to talk, but I can sing because it's a different kind of situation,
Yeah.
singing. And so you'll if you just take like honey packets. Now I went to literally we were performing in a hotel. So I went to the Starbucks and I grabbed like a huge handful of the honey packets and stuck
Hmm.
them in my pocket. And then I would suck on one while I wasn't singing. And honey is got a lot of antibacterial, it just helps you so much that it really coats your vocal cords. And if you take a little bit of lemon juice and put some honey in it just to be able to make it palatable, and put it in the microwave and drink like this much in the bottom of a glass, let it warm and just strip the mucus off your vocal cords, and then eat the honey, and then it coats your vocal cords. It actually will heal your vocal cords. It actually has
Hmm.
like a healing agent in it. And so that's what, if I have like a voice situation, honey every time.
Yeah.
every single time. Yeah, it's crazy to me. It's always a beautiful thing. But yeah, so the good questions, guys. All
Heck
right, so
yeah.
do you have, I don't know if you have kids, but here's another one. Does having your children at
Just having
I'm
young.
assuming at home make it difficult to practice at home? Um no, my kid just kind of rolls his eyes and walks away. When you, because you have kids and they come into your life, not the other way around. So he's always known music in his home. He's always known that his parents are musicians, and we've had to correct him a few times, being like, "Okay, guys, look, look. I realize that you're so norm used to us being here, but we're having like band practice. You can't just walk through and like try to talk to us." Every once in a while. But he doesn't do that a lot because he's older now. He's 13. So it's not a big deal. As little ones, you just have to make sure that you don't leave any instruments on the ground or put them in a pen or something. There are those playpens are like, little, designed to keep children intact without you dying. But besides that, yeah. I don't know if do you have children?
I do. They live with my ex-wife, and it was interesting when my daughter was probably, an infant, almost into that toddler stage. It wasn't too bad, but it was after that, after we, finally got testing and everything done and realized she had autism. She was both autistic and had ADHD, and they both clashed,
Mm, yeah.
with her. So, and my ex, yeah, she would let her just run around, and so like I'm in the bedroom trying to get half an hour of guitar playing in, like, because I hadn't played, like, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month prior to, and all of a sudden the door swings open. Now I've got a kid just jumping up and down on the bed that I'm dealing with, trying to make sure she doesn't hurt herself and whatnot. And you take the kid down, and she's like, "Oh, good, you're done. Now you can help me with this." And it's like, great. So yeah, it
All
was
right.
fun. But otherwise, yeah, that's, yeah, my experience was, yeah, it wasn't the greatest.
Yes. Ron says, understand about your house being a warehouse of instruments. My house is full of drums and percussion instruments. Well, you are a percussionist, Ron, so that's totally understandable. He is he's our drummer for our jazz and blues group. I'm like, well, yeah, that
Nice.
makes total sense. Again, Ron, honey and lemon is good for vocal cords. Amy Grant swore by potato chips for the oil. Yes, actually, she would do that right before she went into the recording studio to make it nice and smooth, actually, is to eat a lot of very greasy potato chips, and it would actually coat the vocal cords. Another thing that I've heard as well, if you want to get rid of a lot of mucus, what is it, seaweed, eat seaweed. That's what Madonna was like, eat seaweed, you'll be able to, it takes care of the mucus. Never drink milk
No,
before
do
you're about to
not.
perform,
No, 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 no,
because
no.
or get on any kind of radio or anything, because it increases the mucus. That is
Mm-hmm.
never ever a good thing. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, and so Julius is like, nobody wants to sit on daddy's lap until I sit down at the set with my headphones on. True. Because they're like, what are you doing? It's like an animal. Kids are like animals. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's just what
Yeah.
it is. They're like, "Hey, what you doing? I should be right there with you." That's exactly yes, exactly. Well, we do have one of your songs that we're gonna be playing. We're gonna be playing "Cause of My Distress." Tell me about this song.
Cause of my distress. So, um, for those watching who haven't ever heard of Ancient Sins before, so Cause of My Distress is the second lead off single on the first record, Never Back Down. And it's definitely the oldest song, just composition wise altogether. I wrote it back in 2007, right after my appendix surgery.
Ah,
And it was one of those moments where, you get done and you realize, hey, this could have been it for me, could have really
mm,
kicked the bucket on this one.
yeah.
And it was just that reflection of life, and that's primarily what I write about, is just life in general. And the song was the first, I guess you could say, a testament, to that. and this it had never changed over time. Over, let's see, what this is 22 now, so what, 15 years I would say, almost now, 14 and a
Yeah.
half years since I wrote it.
Wow.
And it never changed, not one bit. Just had to get timing right in the studio. Otherwise, yeah, it stayed the way it is, and
That's
I think it
great.
still holds true to this day.
That's awesome. Well, we're gonna have you on. We chair dance on here, and and for
I know
yours,
you will be.
and we will, obviously, you get your spotlight for your song. So we'll have you on
Yeah.
in just a second. Come right back. But let me just let everybody know about the songs. We'll be right back with you. Okay, guys. So we have Cause of My Distress by Ancient Sins. Then we have Should Have Known Me Better by Dole Robinson. And then Save Yourselves by Vazoom. I love saying that. That cracks me up every time. Anyways, it's going to be an amazing, amazing set of music. I cannot wait for you to hear this amazing music. Let's go.
This day and age is killing me. Why can't it be simple? Why can't I be free? The winds of change are harsh on my body. They consume and obstruct my informality. Where'd the time go? What's happened to everything? I know it's gonna be alright, but for right now, everything's gone. It's nothing but dust and stone. Looking back, I can clearly see what's killing me. Ever since I let go of this, I Walking down the street that day, seeing colors fade away. Sky used to be so bright. Should've seen me coming. You know my life, and I won't change for you. Should've known me better. Don't wanna let you go. Should've known me better. Never meant that you get so close. 1, 2, 3, 4. That you get the best of me, but I never see right through you. Silly lies and stupid plans. Saw you with another man. Take for granted and I won't take for real. Should've known me better. Don't wanna let you go. You should've known me better. Never meant that you get so close. 1, 2, 3, 4.
just an awesome group. Just an awesome group. Well, guys, we do have some more music. If you have music to send me, please send it to celticrain777@gmail.com. You just have to be a small label or independent artist. And music needs to be family friendly, meaning just don't curse and don't make fun of people. Don't make fun of groups. Be nice. I know it's hard sometimes, but just try. I promise. All genres are welcome, as you can see. We do have some absolutely amazing music coming up next. Ostende by Victor Sierra. Then we have Cat Spa by 5 Year Mission. And then Impression by Morant. So amazing music. And then you're going to hear again from our musician of the hour. So again, if you have questions, go ahead, put them up there, and I'll be able to answer. I'll be able to ask those questions and have a great time. I do have some questions of my own as well. So we're gonna have just a great time getting to know Mr. Wes from Ancient Sins. Beautiful time. But first, let's listen to some beautiful music. You guys ready? All right. Here we go.
sur la jetée de stand. I don't wanna be in this place, but
Morant is just one of those groups that makes you just relax. You know what I mean? They just make you so relaxed. I love Morant so much. And actually, I'm very excited because if I'm correct, let me look at this, make sure I'm not being stupid here. I'm dropping things. Good Lord. Say, Rebecca, stop it. But if I'm right, let me make sure I'm right. So they're one of those groups that just make you, they just, but another group next week, we're actually going to have Greenlee on, and they're another one of those groups that is just, it's one of those groups that you're just like, oh, so relaxing and so beautiful. Music is just so beautiful, and you just kind of sit there and go, good freaking Lord, that's amazing, So, anyways, needless to say, we do have on Ancient Sins again, though, so that's awesome. Hello, Mr. Wes. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good. And thank you so much for, dancing with us and having fun. I know that I always throw my guests into this so much. It's hilarious. So we do have a few so go for it. What were you going to say?
No. I think it was the last time, which was obviously the first time that I was here with you. When you told me about that beforehand, I was like, "What?" And you explained it, and I was like, "Oh boy." I'm just gonna play guitar. I'm just
You
gonna
know
play
what? And
guitar.
that's the perfect thing to do. That's the absolute perfect thing to do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think I've actually danced in probably 25 years. Like it's been a
It's
long
okay.
time.
There's a lot of white boys that can't dance. It's all right. We understand.
Oh, I can slow dance and I can two step. That's it.
There you go. There you go. Well, Ron did say enjoying impression by Morant's lovely Celtic feel.
That one was actually
Very,
not too bad. That was a
very
pretty good
beautiful.
groove. Yeah.
Yeah, very much. We do have one question. Natalie says,
Hmm.
who are the biggest influences whose music inspires you to perform? Oh, that's hard. I have so many. What about you? Who are your biggest influences musically in your life?
Musically, the
Yeah.
number one influence was Alter Bridge. And for those who don't know who Alter Bridge is, three out of the four band members in Alter Bridge used to be in Creed way back in the day. Then there was the big falling out, X, Y, and Z. Then they formed Alter Bridge because they still wanted to make music and make
Yeah.
music as music, not to be that top
Yeah.
40 pusher, but to actually push out the musicality and not only that, but the musicianship of themselves. Um,
Absolutely.
and yeah, just for so many years of being a fan of these guys, they are what kickstarted me getting back into guitar playing many years ago. I had put down the guitar for about a year because I was that new beginner that listened to everybody and was like, they say you suck and they say this, they say that, they say put it down, and I did. And then that first album of theirs dropped, and I was like, okay, I got to play guitar again, and it's just been off to the races ever since.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Otherwise, as far as just inspiration, I pull inspiration from just about everything. We'll just like kind of spat off the genres and maybe one or two bands from each. We'll say 80s hair metal, Cinderella and Twisted Sister. We'll even say Quiet Riot, who, and I'll get to those guys, and their importance here after a while, but um, 80s metal in general, Slayer and Anthrax, Metallica. The 50s from blues, you had Benny Goodman, you had Duke Ellington. The 30s, George Gershwin. The 1700s,
Absolutely.
you had what? Tchaikovsky, I'm just saying, around
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely.
Um, the 90s, my first ever guitar player I took after was Chris England, who used to perform for Garth Brooks a long time ago. Chris Ledoux, his band, the Beatles, freaking Journey, Queensryche, Breaking Benjamin, Disturbed, Nightwish, Hammerfall, all of these bands over everything you can even think of. Just a culmination of it, and that is the beauty in diversity of
Absolutely.
music because it can go everywhere.
Yep. I think for me, um, I, I live with musicians, so frankly, I know this is going to be very corny, but my husband inspires me probably the most
No, that's
because
good.
yeah, he's here with me always. And
Hmm.
so I'm always hearing him and perform something or play something or try something new. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, I can do this. I can
Yeah.
try something new too. But because of this show, I have been so inspired by some of the bands that I play that just blow my mind. And I'm like, I would like to be this person one day.
Hmm.
Like this Victor Sierra is a group that I'm just like, I want to try this. I want to try that. I want to try so many kinds of music that it kind of, I'm like, okay, one day I'm going to make an album and it's going to have like one song from every genre that I can figure out. And it's not going to be like it's going to be like a collaboration. I've decided. I love oh, why can I think? I just saw her name and I was like, what is this? What is happening to this beautiful person? Um, Darwin's Prophet. She's one of the people that I play on here all the time. I love her music. It just brightens my heart and makes me just think of like how beautiful a musician can be no matter where they are in their life. But yeah, some of the people I play on this show, just they always get to me.
Hmm.
Some of the people that are overseas right now that are still writing music, there's a guy in Russia who's writing music. He's writing protest songs knowing that he could possibly get killed because of it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm just like, that takes some guts right there. And that inspires me. That really, really inspires me. Well, I have some personally I have some questions. So what have you been working on lately? What's going on with you lately?
Lately, I have the um, first, well, not necessarily the first go, but the final pre-production rough ideas for the brand new studio album. I've had those done since August of last year, and it's just been a matter of raising funds to get the new studio album done.
Nice.
Um, Otherwise, I did. So I got signed as a an endorser, like getting endorsed by, right?
Nice.
By Morley Pedals back in September of last year. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that one was like when I put that in, I was like, and I got the email back from Bill from Morley. I was like, yes, like, oh my God, like one of those
Yeah.
moments. So and he emailed me back in I think it was in late November, mid to late November last year, and was like, hey, we have this thing we do, every we started a little while ago called the Walla Days because they're wah pedals, and
That's
he's
cute.
like, do you? Yeah, I know, right? He's like, do you want to do a submission for the Walla Days? And I'm like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So I did Heart the Herald Angels Sing, but in a guitar solo format
Oh, that's adorable.
for that. Been working on some collab ideas, but for covers, with some friends that are overseas.
Mhm.
So we're just kind of waiting for those to come to the light of day. Otherwise, nothing. Just practice, 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 gearing up for the shows that I've got booked for the rest of the year.
That's awesome. So we'll be talking about shows in our next interview, but we are going to play one of your songs, another one of your songs that you sent me at least. We're going to play Last Time. So tell me about Last Time.
Last time. So anyone who can relate to something in the past in somebody who you've had trust with, you confided within them and said, hey, just don't hurt me again. Don't, and it's not necessarily physical, but it's mainly emotional.
Oh
But
yeah.
don't break the trust, don't this, that, and the other, can take this song, because that's kind of the main idea where it came from. Just living around my former spouse, and it goes both ways too. Don't just look at it from your perspective. Look at it from both sides, and view it, as to where you'd be going on in your side of the story as well. But for somebody who would be kind of reaching out to someone, hey, saying this is the last time I'm going to trust you, because after this it's no more.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there. Frankly, I think everyone has been there at least 3,000 times in their
Yeah.
life. Depending on the person.
Yep.
For sure. Well, we do have one comment. Ron said, Nive on the Whirly sponsorship free Wawa. Do you get a free Wawa pedals? Do you get free pedals?
No, and it's there. Well, he's close now. Morley, but it's all good. It's all good.
Orley. There we go.
Ley,
Morley
but
sponsorship.
no, you
Orley.
no, you'd probably have to be like Bumblefoot, and which Ron submitted a video for that as well, and his was really really cool.
Nice.
I think it was like Santa Claus is coming to town or something. I can't
That's
remember.
funny.
But it's
That
he's
cracks
he's
me
got
up.
2 different videos going at the same time, and it's in 2 different octaves, and it's really really cool.
That's
But
amazing.
yeah, and he's oh my God, such a talented guitar player. God, the guy's
Hmm.
legend.
There you go.
But yeah, no, you don't get it's yeah. I'm starting here or not here, so like I got that, I got you just,
The
you
small
get
one.
what they can give, yeah.
There you
For
go.
now.
Well, okay. Well, you know the drill. Gonna bring you back in just a second, okay?
All right.
Cool. All right, guys. So yes, we have Last Time by Ancient Sins. And then by Monoplan, we have um Samaria. I might be saying that wrong. You guys are just gonna have to figure it out. It's Russian, people. It's Russian. That's what I have to say. And then we have "Consecrate Me" by Rebecca Lawson. That's one of mine. I wrote this a while ago, and then we recorded it, and it's a beautiful piece. It's a worship tune that I wrote. So we're gonna have some absolutely amazing music. And you guys ready? All right. Here we go.
They say the way to an open heart is to know the right way to start. Realize Never have been let down by you.
Как солнце играет на листьях высоких прямых тополей, как медленные летние мысли, под вкрадчивый шепот ветвей, а позже причудливой тени. И всюду в ночной тишине скользят над домами видения и пляшут при полной луне. И с ними я дальше отсюда, от голых и пыльных степей. Я болен готическим чудом старинных парижских камней, старинных парижских камней. И снова приходишь. Зачем ты являешься мне? Пуста, как иссохший колодец, тоскливо, как сны о зиме. Я брежу не этим фасадом, угрюмым во все времена. Зовет Нотр-Дама громада меня из туманного сна. Я пленник иного пейзажа, рожденный со странной душой, сияй красок витражных. Мой ангел парит надо мной, мой ангел парит надо мной. облака.
Come into your presence, everything is gone. You strip your lives of everything but you. We come into your glory, our hearts open wide, ready to be made anew. Consecrate me, Lord, I'm ready. Consecrate my life for you. Fill me up, oh Lord, I'm ready. Ready to serve you, ready to live my life for you. For you. Opportunity to dwell with you. Gives a grace that made it all brand new. How could I but feel this gratitude for you? Love that it takes to hold me true. Consecrate me, Lord, I'm ready. Consecrate my life for you. Fill me up, oh Lord, I'm ready. Ready to serve you, ready to live my life for you. For you. As I worship you in your kingdom, living out my ways each day. And as I come before your presence, consecrate my heart today. Consecrate ready to live my life for you. For
Yeah, that was one of mine from a while ago. But it's just, I don't know. There are songs that you write and they're just true forever. And that's definitely one of those songs. Um, Ron said, loving that uh, you title yourself as Reverend Rebecca Lawson. Um, Deservedly so. Well, I am a reverend. I worked really hard for that title. You go to school for a very long time to be a reverend. You should really, really, really appreciate your pastors. They have to go to school for a very, very long time. But Mr. West, hey, how
Mm,
you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious to think about because I went and got my music degree, which took
Yeah,
me it took me 5 years because I like to do things a lot more than they should be done. So it took me 5 years instead of four, and but then seminary is not the degree I got from my master's in divinity is the 95 hours master's program, which most master's programs for anything else are like 30. But so people don't realize that a good portion of ministers, their masters are as much as other people's doctorates. So it's like, okay, you
yeah,
should go. So that whole thing about pastor appreciation month, do it because these people get paid nothing and they've been to school forever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they have to put up with you people.
Yeah.
Just gonna put that one out there. It's like herding cats, people. It's like herding cats.
Oh, very. Oh, very.
Now I'm off my soapbox now. Sorry.
It's all good. Hey, it's all
I'm
good.
just having fun. So I know you're working on music right now. You're getting
Yeah.
ready to like record, which is going to be awesome. Um, and can you like give us some like? Can you give us like some little bit of a sneak peeks of what might be coming? Little
Uh,
like what are the songs about?
so about I
Yeah.
can a little bit playing any of the snippets I'm on my phone
No, no,
and
no, no. Like, who are you
yeah.
working with? What are they
Oh,
about?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So the songs are again, I write about life, and it's in a way that you can connect with your audience, and not only that, but in a
Absolutely.
way that they can relate to the song through a portion of their life and something that they've experienced.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I think with this new record that especially one of the most trying times of my life, aside from writing Cause of My Distress, and even Riptide, which Riptide was the song about my mom or for my mom. One of these songs coming up is definitely about one of the most probably traumatic experiences of my life that I've ever
Mm.
had. And, initially it was about getting the rest of these the skeletons out of the closet and these ideas out there from the first record saying these are the ones that sat around forever and this is how they were this many years ago. Now this new record is this is where I'm at musically today. That's kind of the night and day shift. But then yeah, big turn in 2020, the end of 2020 with a certain somebody that I was seeing back then definitely shifted the tide and took the record in a much deeper and darker route. So
That'll
it'll
happen.
be yeah. it'll be true to the core, and at the same time it will be light and uplifting, again. I don't want
Nice.
something to be just deep and dark and whatnot. I love bands like that, Meshuggah and Celtic Frost and Cradle of Filth, things like that. But it's not the direction that I want
Yeah.
this record or any record to go.
No, I get
But
that.
yeah, it'll be heavy. It'll be light. It'll be melodic. It's gonna have a couple of long melodic songs in the six and sevens again. But yeah, it's gonna have 12 tracks. This one will be 12 tracks.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, when it comes out, send it to me. We'll start playing it.
of
We
course, of
will.
course. Yeah.
So who's going to be? You said you're collaborating with some people. Who's working with you?
So the person I have talked with and got, I have so much to owe to this man. But the guy who's going to produce this record and drum on it is Paul Wandke. And Paul Wandke has his own projects. He's the front man for Smells Like Nirvana, which is a Nirvana tribute band. He's the drummer for a band called Bedlam, and also for a band called Dead Original. And he also did drumming in Trivium for a couple of years. I think it was like 2016, 2014 to 2016, around there. Those couple of years. The guy has a wicked double kick like I've been looking for, and he's got really good, engineering skills. He does, and he's a
Nice.
fantastic soul. Fantastic soul.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, he was like, "Hey, this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what we agreed to on the price range." And he was like, even if it was less than this, he was like, I would still make it sound like a $10,000, $20,000 record. And I'm like, well, thank you, seriously.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Those kind of
but
people are
yeah,
gold.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm just, yeah, well, as soon as I can send the first down payment, it'll be pressing record on his end to begin final
Absolutely.
production.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I've
have a
got.
few people in our life like that. And those are the people you just hold on to because those are your gold.
Mhm.
Those are the people that
Yeah,
no matter what, they're going to be there. They're going to help you. They're going to do what you need done to create the art that you create. You know,
yeah,
that's awesome. Well, you said you had some shows coming up. Tell us about the shows.
yeah. So, what's today? The 24th, right? So June 4th, I'm opening for Quiet Riot in at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood. And that's
Nice.
where the majority of my shows will be for the rest of the year. I've got two more shows booked at the Whiskey. October 28th, I'll be opening for Power Man 5000, and then November 11th, I'll be opening for Saving Abel. And then I've got a Battle of the Bands coming up in July in Apple Valley, which is kind of close to Victorville, in that area. So the Battle of the Bands winner of that one will determine which of us, I think it's like 4 or 5 bands, is going to play in the local band Smokeout Festival in August. So I'm hoping that, you know, yeah, I win that night. Yeah,
Cross your
fingers
fingers,
crossed.
right? Every toe
Um,
you have.
yeah, that not only do I do a good performance, but and even if I don't win that night, I'm okay with that as long as as long as I can reach, somebody that night as far as
Right.
making a few more fans,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it is about making fans, but also you don't know who's out there. You don't know what the next connection's going to be that's going to get you a gig here or there. I
Yeah.
always walk around with, cards in my pocket, man. And I'm
Yep.
just like, hey, so, here you go. If you ever need us, this is it, hey, here you go, here you go. And I'm telling you, it off of one gig that like this past weekend, we did a gig. We hardly ever do gigs anymore where we don't get paid. So, but this gig, a friend of ours was like, "Hey, will you come out and play for our, our it was like their business's anniversary or something. And we're like, fine, whatever. Let's have fun, And you couldn't do the whole band because, I can't just take the whole band out there and not get paid, but I can take me and my husband, it's not, like, yeah, sure, feed us, that kind of thing. And I went out there, I think I made like 20 connections. And I
Nice.
know in that area alone, because that's a good hour away, that area alone, there's 20 possible gigs, so I was
Yeah.
like, exactly. So yeah, dude, have a business card, pile in your hand,
You know
get
what?
theirs, get
That's the
theirs.
second time I've heard that is you yourself as a band having business cards. That's the
Oh yeah.
second time I've heard that.
Oh yeah, I have business cards
So
all the time, and at first I had the business cards where I had my actual name on it, and there you go. But we're a band, so and now I just have the band's business card. It has my information, but but it has everything from where you find the Facebook and YouTube and blah blah blah, all of the information,
yep.
email, all that great jazz. But then I also get theirs so
Yeah.
that then I can be like the next week being like, hey, so I loved getting to know you. And that's the business of it. And I think where bands fall down is not knowing how to do the business.
Yeah.
And so they tend to be like, oh, I just want to play music. Well, that's great. And you're going to starve. And
Well,
you're
there is
gonna
that.
get like a gig once a month, maybe. And I'm like, all
Yep.
right. So the business of it is really getting to know the area and how does it work, and who are the
Yeah.
people to talk to, and all of that jazz
And
that happens, and every area is different. All of
yeah,
them are.
and the big thing, especially like so it's from where I live right now to Los Angeles is about 3 to 3.5 hours. Okay, and on the average, no band would probably travel to and fro um, on less than receiving back half of the budget that they spent to be able to book that gig. And that's one thing that some people don't realize, because like I was talking to a couple of people last week about the shows, later on down the road this year, and they're like, hey, so like that's going to be like near my birthday weekend and this, that, and the other, so like I can get a couple of free tickets. And I'm like, I'm just letting you know that I pay this amount of dollars to even book this slot. So in order to even break even, I have to sell these concert tickets. You know that. And they're like,
So
"Oh,
it's a pay to play situation.
exactly."
Got
And
it.
that's the big thing. And
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
I would like
we don't do a lot
to,
of those.
if we were playing at, Skeeter's bar down the street, I have no problem, because then you're just paying your cover charge and that just goes to the bar. That doesn't come to me. I can play for free, a half an hour down the road. I'm fine with that. An hour down the road. But that far, and what that gig is costing me initially up front, yeah, that's the no.
Yeah, no, we
But
don't do
yeah,
a lot of pay to plays.
yeah.
And so we'll be like, this is our fee, but we've been
Mhm.
around a long time. So that helps. Plus we're a
Yeah.
niche band, and niche bands tend to be able to do that a little bit more. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
totally
not only
understandable.
that, but you've built a good rapport with those who you
Hmm.
play for and who you play
Yes.
around. That's
Yeah,
there's that
exactly.
too. Yeah.
And what's really nice is we're a Celtic band, and there's a lot of the Celtic bands that are around here. We all help each other out. So somebody
Nice.
can't play, we fill
Yeah.
in. There's and you get to know your musicians that are in the area. We did
Yeah.
have a question though. Let's see. Julia says, "Do you ever get writer's block when you're trying to put a song together?" I don't know. For me, depends on the song. Sometimes they just come like this. Other times, if someone's been like, I want you to write a song for this occasion, and here's the subject, then every once in a while, I'm like, I might get a little bit here and there, or I get something stupid. And I'm like, yeah, this is just not ready. This is not right. And I have to just scrap the whole thing. There's only been like 2 songs that turned out freaking amazing, but I was cursing the whole time I was writing it. I don't know if you've ever had that experience. You're
Oh
like,
yeah.
what in the
Oh
holy
yeah.
blank, 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 blank.
Yep.
This is not working. What the blank, blank, blank. And then by the time
So
you get done, it's like ridiculous, amazing. And you're just like,
yeah.
oh,
So I
that was a
get
battle.
yeah. So to what was it, Julius, right,
Julius.
Julius.
Hmm.
So first off, hi Julius. Yeah. So I get, and I'm always different. I'll always be different than the next guy, and you could say it's I would have what's would be intentional writer's block. And
Mm,
what I do, especially my songwriting and the clinics that I give and whatnot for guitar playing is and I picked this up from Mark Tremonti, is writing in parts and only specifically writing parts and starting with the melody. Don't
mm-hmm.
even put words to it yet. If you have a title and whatnot for what you want that song to build an emotion on, great. If not, just put your part out there, a chorus, a verse, an intro, um, a bridge, just something to spawn that, and take it like a what's that? And I can never remember this off the top of my head, but it's this the writing idea, the bubble with the streaming in the bubbles, and it goes from
Oh,
bubbles
yeah.
to, you know,
Yeah.
that thing, right? I
You're
can never
mapping it.
remember. Yeah,
You're
yeah. So
mapping it.
you have your
Hmm.
central idea, the foundation, and you build the story. You
Yeah,
build
yeah.
what it's not only what it's about, but the meaning and the just the whole, structure behind it.
Right.
And I put every time I come up with one idea or two ideas or so on, whenever I strike one, I always pull out my phone and um, pull open the video section from the home screen, the lock screen, and record it on the spot. And I keep it there, and I'm just like, okay, I hear it. Now I try to work through it and see if I can develop it. But I give it time. I give it a couple of days, I give it a week, a month, so on. And
Hmm.
that idea will sit there, and I will just listen to it and say, what can I do with that and make it better? And always listen to the
Nice.
same terrible initial idea and never try to capture. I don't try to capture lightning in a bottle, because if you do, like for me, like I think I kind of catch what you call a swole-headedness, and that's oh, I just did this and I'm at this level now, and then everything just goes way downhill. So I
Yeah.
intentionally just write in those sections and piece it all together
Okay.
later, to make it its own journey. Let it take
Yeah.
its own color on a canvas, its own shade. And yeah, it's that's how I do it. It'll be different for anybody else, but
Well, we're going to
you
be
know,
listening to
yeah.
Riptide. Tell us about that one.
So Riptide, and this is actually a perfect example to Julius's question. So Riptide I had written in 2011. I wrote the lyric sheet in 2012. Now this is the original lyric sheet. It's not the final. But the original lyrics I wrote in 2011. I wrote the intro and verse riffs in 2012 and finished the chorus in 2015 or 2016. Um, and then when I was going along with this song, I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But then my mom passed away in 2016. And at that moment, I was like, I want to write a song for her. Other musicians have. And I was like, I want to, do something as a in memoriam. And then time just kept going and going, and I had nothing. Every time I tried to write a song, for that specific reason, nothing came out. And then it was late to mid 2017 when I left my former spouse,
Mm,
and it took all that time away, and was in the studio for the first album, and was trying to finish up the lyrics because I saw the lyrics and they didn't match, and I was like, I know these lyrics from 6 years ago are not going to cut it, 6 7 years ago.
right.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to make it better, going to make it this, going to make it that, and that was the point of forcing it, and it was just going nowhere. So I was like, you know what? I've got today off from the studio. I'm just going to take it as a day off, not going to write anything. Went and spent some time with my kids. And after spending time with my kids, went to a double feature at the theater and saw two movies. The second movie was I Can Only Imagine. And
Mm,
on the way home after watching that movie and even sitting at home where I was staying, just kind of reminiscing over that movie for so long, for about an hour, and then just looked at that lyric sheet again. Just something drew me to it, and I was like, "All right, God, I see what you're doing there." And within the next, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, had the final version of Riptide's lyrics, and that became my mom's song after watching
absolutely.
that film. And I was like,
Absolutely.
that's what I was waiting for,
Absolutely.
and it was good, and it's definitely my all-time favorite song to play right now,
Awesome.
for our tracks. Yeah.
Well, we're going to play that song. We got a little bit more, and then it's going to be time to say goodnight. So let's do this. Let's do it. Well, you guys, we are going to listen to Riptide. I'm like doing bad things here. Oh, good Lord. And then we're going to listen to Donegal Danny by Laughing Jack. And then Door Number 2 by Doug Fox. And they're going to end this whole show with Light Away by Fool the Masses. Very excited about this last set of music. Cannot wait for you to hear these beautiful songs. You guys ready? Here we go.
Should have read my God,
I remember the night when he blew in from the winter's cold and damp. A giant of a man in an oilskin coat and a bundle that told he was a tramp. As he stood at the bar, he called for a pint and turned and gazed at the fire. On a night like this, to be safe and dry is my one and only desire. So here's to those who are dead and gone, to friends that I hold dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. Tell 'em Donegal Danny, been here, me boys. Donegal Danny, been here. Oh, then in a voice was hushed and low, he said, listen, I'll tell you a tale. How a man of the sea became a man of the road, and never more again to sail. Well, it fished out of Hearth and killed a big hard glass, and even Baltimore. But the cruel sea, she's beaten me, and I'll end my day upon the shore. So here's to those who are dead and gone, the friends that I hold dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. Tell 'em Donegal Danny, been here, me boys. Donegal Danny, been here. On a night like this, in the wind and rain, we set sail at a Killabeg town. There were 5 of us from sweet Donegal, and 1 from the county of Down. We were fishermen all who'd worked the sea and never counted the cost. Oh, but who'd have thought ere that night was o'er that my fine friends would all be lost? So here's to those who are dead and gone, the friends that I hold dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. Tell 'em Donegal Danny, been here, me boys. Donegal Danny, been here. Hey. When the storm it broke, it drove the boat to the rocks about 10 miles from shore. As we fought the tide, we all hoped inside to see our homes again once more. As the ship struck a rock and hold the bow, and the crew all knew she'd go down. Overside went we into that icy sea, as we prayed to God we wouldn't drown. So here's to those who are dead and gone, to friends that I hold dear. And here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu. Tell 'em Donegal Danny, been here, me boy. Donegal Danny, been here. Oh, by St. John's Point in the early morn, I dragged myself onto the shore and cursed the sea for her cruelty, and I vowed to sail her nevermore. And ever since I've wandered alone, traveling, trying to forget that awful night I lost all my friends, and still I see their faces yet. Then he gave a toast, he downed the pint, and the hair, it bristled on my skin. For as I looked o'er across the bar that night, he vanished like smoke upon the wind. So here's to those who are dead and gone, the friends that I
I wish that you were here. These moments to get lost in fear. I wish that you were here. Even if you say nothing and carry me through. When you hold me tight, amaze me, your eyes on me for protection. Thanks for every single tear you carry for me. Thanks for every single tear you carry with me. lays me on me for protection. My mind escapes and drifts away, and drifts away, drifts away. Swimming in the endless pain, I hope you're only stars so far away.
Well, you guys, it has been an amazing, amazing show. Amazing. Thank you, Wes, for being here. It was
Yes,
awesome
even
to
with
see you again.
it's good to see you again.
Yeah. And when that album comes out, send it to us, let us know, and we'll be able to put it on and share it with the world.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Good luck on your up and coming concerts. It'd be really, really awesome. All you California people out there, make sure to go and check him out. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you so much. You guys, you can actually find him at facebook.com/ancient sins. ANCIENT sins. Is there anywhere else that they can actually find your music, my dear?
Absolutely. There's the the YouTube channel, Ancient Sins Official, and then anywhere that you listen to music, iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Google Play, iHeartRadio,
There you go.
wherever you listen to your music.
Absolutely. All right. Well, guys, if you do have music to send me, you can send it to CelticRain777@gmail.com. Just has to be family friendly and from a small label or independent artist. Obviously, I play all genres of music. If you are not watching on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/C for channel/Celtic Rain. Go ahead and subscribe so that way you know exactly when we're going to be coming on. And as you can see, you can be a part of the show asking questions and having a great time. You are listening to the Celtic Rain Radio Show. We thank you so very much for being here, and we hope you have an amazing day and a great, great life. Thank you, and bye.